Yeah.
All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, it is with further ado that we welcome the one, the only, one of the most memorable groups of all time, straight out of Master P's No Limit Records. We got Sons of Funk right here, live on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM. How y'all doing tonight?
Yeah. We up in here.
I got to say, first and foremost, guys, like I was telling Rico here before we got live, I've been a fan of like Sons of Funk since I was a youngin', man. So just thank you guys for giving us just a little bit of your time this evening.
Indeed.
Oh man, that's our pleasure. Our pleasure.
Indeed, it's an honor.
But for the people, because see me, I already know who you guys are. You know what I mean? Like I just said, I grew up on your guys' music. But for the individuals that don't already know Sons of Funk, like, can you tell our listeners a bit more about you guys? Like, introduce yourselves.
Okay, I'm Rico, a.k.a. Rick Angel.
I'm Lorenzo Blaze, a.k.a. They call me Big Shug.
Yeah. We're Richie Rich. Introduce yourself, Rich. Can you hear?
And I'm Richie Rich.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, there you go. All right, cool.
And I got to say, Richie as well is actually a new edition of Sons of Funk. So I got to ask, like, Rico, that's obviously, your youngest son. But, like, what actually made you decide to bring, like, Richie Rich into Sons of Funk? Like, how did that actually transpire?
First off, the little boy is dope as hell. I ain't saying it just because, he's a spawn from Satan's loins. But the boy is dope, man. But he was doing his own thing at first, and I was, letting him do his own thing. We was writing together. And then one day it dawned on him. He said, Pop, I'm finna do this with you, man. I'm finna get down with you. Obviously we got a cold chemistry. When we do write songs together, they turn out to be some of the dopest material ever. And then it just dawned and clicked, and he was like, "Come on!" So he called his uncle, the Big Shug, and he was like, "Shug, I'm in." And he was like, "Come on, let's go. We finna go get it now. It's on and popping. No stopping us."
And we kind of learned how to bridge that traditional, like, Sons of Funk sound that we had with the new. We bridged the old with the new, man, and then you get something spectacular. That's amazing, man. Everybody's just digging,
And also as well, Rico, I remember you were telling me as well that your son actually brings a new flavor to Sons of Funk, man. For the individuals that haven't heard that new flavor, man, like, what does he actually bring to the table?
So what it is, okay, it's like we got an assembly line. So I usually come I get the beat and the hook, right? So I'm cut from the Earth, Wind, and Fire, the Prince, the Michael Jackson, the Isley Brothers era. And so is Big Shug, right? So I come with them hooks. I send the idea to Big Shug. He listened to it. Okay, he'll fine tune. He say, "Reed, go back. The hit is in there, but we'll fine tune that a little bit more, man. Get pinpoint on this word." So I'll go back about 5 minutes later. I send it back to him and tell, "That's it." So then, when Rich comes over like every other day or every day, I say, "Pop got us about 4 smashes." And he's like the new youngsters like Lil Wayne or Chris Brown. He doesn't write anything down. I just tell him the hook, and then he gets it in his head, and then he puts his own shine on top of it. So now it's transferring into this new sound, and then he puts his verses with the new cadence, and we got a hybrid R&B. We got a whole new style that can't be stopped.
Hey, it most definitely sounds like, you know what I mean? You guys are coming back, and you guys are coming back full force, man. The music industry better get ready, man. I can feel the heat from here.
Don't burn yourself. Don't burn yourself.
Yeah, we hot, baby.
But the one thing that I actually had, I was always wondering, because like I said, I grew up listening to you guys, man. So, like, how did the original Sons of Funk group actually get connected? Like, how did you all meet? Because that must have been such an iconic story.
Man, let me tell you just how it all started. So Dez actually kind of like he was really a brainchild about putting people together. Dez is really like my cousin, right? And here he and Big Shug was already together. Josh was only 15 years old when Sons of Funk really started. So it was a spring day, just about like today. It was this area in Oakland, California called Lake Mary. And he saw me, he said, "Cuz, what's up? I'm producing." I was like, "Man, you ain't producing. What you producing?" Right? So he was like, "Nah, man, come over to the house." I said, "Okay." So I come over to his house and I look to the left, and always around was Shock G, Money B, Tupac. They all lived across the street from Dez, right? But he kind of like staying in his own lane. You know, they knew what we was doing. So I came in the house, and I went upstairs, and he turned on this beat. And believe it or not, it's a song out there better than Pushing Inside You. It's called "If Your Body Says Yes, Come On Over." Believe it or not. And I heard that music. And when I tell you, it was all the right keyboard sounds. It was all the sounds that Teddy Riley was using on the radio at that time. It was banging. I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been looking for. This is a game changer right here. I said, give me this beat, and tomorrow I'm gonna come back with a hit record. Because I have a cold pen game, right? So I went home. I came back. When I came back, Big Shug was there. He was only 15 years old. He's a little dude. And he was like, so he was like, y'all let me hear what you got, Reed. So I sang it for him. They looked at each other like, okay, this is it. And I looked at Josh. I said, hey, man, you played that piano part on there? He was like, yeah. I said, let me tell you something, young man. Because at the time I was 25 and he was just 15. I said, you stick with me, I'm going to have you in Beverly Hills in the next 5 years. I promise you, in 5 years, I'm going to have you in Beverly Hills. No sooner than 4.5 years, I had them boys living right there in Beverly Hills.
It was so prophetic, man. It was like just exactly what he said. It's like, it was like he spoke it, it came into existence, man. It's like he was like kind of like that missing piece that we needed we could make the amazing beats, but as far as the hooks and the lyrics, he brought that to the to the group, man. And from there, it was like we were unstoppable, man. And all of us, Dez at the time, myself and Rico, we had this burning tenacity, man. Like we were all in, nothing could stop. We ate, slept, drank, music, and trying to make it, and that it takes that in order to make it, Yeah. You can't half-ass it. You gotta really go after it.
And it must have been surreal as well, you know what I mean? Must have been surreal being from the bottom going to Beverly Hills.
You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, we had such competition. Across the street was Tupac. It was Digital Underground. And then, what I'm saying, my cousin was in Digital Underground. He produced. You have Money, Big Money O, and Sean Gales. Those are my cousins. And then you had Too Short. That was like 15 minutes away. I mean, all of us was in this one area. Tony. Like they all grew up together, and it was a fierce competition. And your music had to be above board, because baby, if it wasn't, they gonna laugh at you right in your face. You feel me? Like, that's some poo. Get that out of here.
And I gotta ask, man, because like obviously Digital Underground, man, when they actually first heard you guys step on the scene, what was their take? Were they like, oh shit, like these guys are dope, or do they feel a little threatened by your guys' music?
Nah, they Shock G and my cousin Sean Gills, they was like very accepting. They was like, yo, this shit dope. Y'all gonna blow. And then you gotta remember, it was other cats like David Hollister, who was a Blackstreet. He was around at the time. So everybody had this level of music, and all you could do was just say, damn, that's gonna be a hit. Oh yeah, you about to blow. I mean, we was around everybody that was just doing it, man. Like, then I had another buddy who wrote the song for Aaron Hall, I Miss You. So we was around these cats, man, at all times that was super, super. And then, okay, now watch this. Then I had some other buddies that played for Prince. You feel me? Like Miko Weaver. I knew Sheila E. You know what I mean? We all were from the Bay. So the music game was fierce. And you just had to have it. You know what I mean? Either you had it or you didn't. There was no gray area.
Yeah.
But I got to ask you guys, like, how did your guys' record deal with No Limit Records and Master P come together? Because like you said, you had tons of legendary individuals around you when you first started. So like obviously it's kind of obvious how like Master P found you, word of mouth. But like, how did that record deal come to be? And like, did you guys have to audition for him, or like, how did he find you?
Well, it started, me and him. Okay, let me take you back real quick. I had just finished doing this deal with MC Hammer. Now, me and Kurt Stanley are buddies too. But this dude that was in my group, I ain't gonna mention his name, messed up a situation with us. So I said to myself, if ever again I meet another rapper that is on the rise, I'm gonna friend him, because rappers was letting R&B cats in the game. So lo and behold, I meet Master P at a barbershop. And man, the dude, he could be really a comedian. Master P is really funny. There's a whole nother side of P. So he came in, he was clowning the barbers or whatever. And long story, he had saw me at this show we had did at the Black Family Day in Sacramento. And he said, hey man, I saw you, it was wonderful. If ever you make it, will you help me? And if ever I make it, I help you. And man, when I tell you I was broken in glass on the concrete, that brother, I said, yeah, I don't mind, man. Let's do this, So he blew up. We gave P Push It Inside You. 3 weeks later, we had already sold 4 million copies. Next thing I know, he's flying us to the Bahamas. We got our tanks. We got some Rolex watches, and we never looked back. It was on and popping just like that. He just stayed true to his word. It's a whole nother story that's involved with that, but it'll take a while. But basically, we had made a pact with each other. And to remember, Big Suge and I was at KMEL, a very popular radio station in the Bay Area, and we had seen P. And P was like, man, get at me, man. I want to fool with you, man. And he gave me his number. And I lost it. And I remember Suge looking at me like, how the hell you lose that money? Man, we could have. And I was like, I don't know what I did with the number. But it was prophetic, because we ran into him in LA anyway, gave him the song. And when I tell you, we never looked back. I mean, our whole life been on this beautiful whirlwind ever since.
Hey man, if you get to go on a private jet, get yourself some Rolexes, man. I'm not gonna lie, my white ass wouldn't look back either. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be honest, man. You know what I mean? Rolexes, man. I'm telling you, they're like $3,000, if not more, for a watch, man. So if you're just getting some free Rolexes, man, there ain't no looking back after that.
Ain't no looking back, baby. It was on and popping.
And I remember as well, man, you were actually telling me something that actually before we actually went on live about how you actually gave Master P some information, like some good advice, and he actually like laughed at you and turned you down, man. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a bit more about that story.
Yeah, man. So what happened was, again, it was me and Josh, Suge. We were in Los Angeles. That's when we had moved there, and we had went to go see. We were at the Hotel Nico, because my buddy was a bodyguard for Jay-Z and Foxy Brown. So he said, because he knew I loved Jay-Z, right? I really wasn't too much into his rap, but I liked his business acumen. He was very, very just go-getterish, and I just loved that about him. So he said, man, your guy is here, man. You want to meet him? I said, cool. So I went to the Hotel Nico, and sure enough, Jay-Z came downstairs. And when I tell you, this dude has an aura that's bigger than life, man. When I tell you, when he comes around, he's there. He don't say much, but his ethos is just huge, right? He don't have to say much. And so he was like, yo, man, you with No Limit, right? And I was like, yeah. He said, what you did, Pushing Aside You. And I was like, yeah, man. He was like, Man, they bumping that in the Bronx. They bumping that in Manhattan. They loving that song. I was like, what? For real? It's like, oh man, they love y'all in New York. I was like, okay. He said, man, I wanna hook up with P. He said, can you make that happen? I was like, yeah. So I called P. I said, P, bro, like, Jay wanna holler at you. He said, yeah, tell him to meet me at the Nas concert later on that night. So me and Big Suge, we go over there. Here come P. He got about 30 dudes, and Jay had about 10 dudes, and P just looked at him and said, say, bro, I ain't trying to do no business with you. Come on, please call me freaky. Come on, freaky, bro, let's go. And I looked at Jay, I looked at P, and they looked at me, and I was like, you know, P was my boss, and what can I do? I had to go with him. And I was like, come on, Josh. So, you know, and that was it. And then another situation, I was at the Slauson Swap meet, and I heard this song. You keep your body clean, huh? And something, huh? You know what I'm saying? It was Juvenile, huh? And I was like, holy crap. And them drums, them drums sound, I was just like amazed. But I knew that drum. I knew that was New Orleans, right? So I called my homeboy. He said, Reek, that's Cash Money, dog. They want to do a deal with y'all. So I immediately got, because Slauson is right by the airport. I hopped on the plane. I flew into Baton Rouge. I came to the office, and P was there, him and Boz, and I was like, P, I think we could sign Cash Money for about $1 million. They're gonna sign the whole record company, but I think we can do it for $1 million. My boy talking to him right now. They started laughing at me. They said, man, ain't nothing but some bounce music. Reek, you don't know. I was like, bro, if you think that shit is just bounce, you tripping, because they loving it at the Slauson Swap meet. They going crazy. 6 months later, girl, you look good once you back that thing up. Them dudes took off. And you know what happened to us.
I got to admit, though, you guys made a positive impact within the music industry, man. Like, it's even still to this day, people are still talking No Limit, man. So at the end of the day, unfortunately, but that sounds bad to say, man, Master P might have made the wrong decision on that. But at the time, man, at that time it was a different genre of music. So I can kind of see where he's coming from, but I can really see where you're coming from as well. Like, sometimes you have to spend money to really make money, and $1 million to Master P, it sounds bad. During those days, it was probably toilet paper.
Man, it was a drop in the bucket. When we bought our houses, when we finished our album, P spent $1.3 million on us in 15 minutes, and didn't bat an eye. Now, he's a great guy. I'm not taking nothing from him. What he did for us, I will never bark at, man, because I have a mansion right now inadvertently because of Master P. I got a bunch of other homes that I rent out inadvertently because of Master P. I started my family inadvertently because of Master P.
Yeah, I mean, you can't hate on that, man. You know what I mean? You can't hate on that.
No,
you know what I mean?
No way.
But also, as well, aside from you guys actually doing music, Sons of Funk actually did some production work. And I remember you guys actually did some production work on Silk the Shockers' Made Man record. I was wondering, what made you guys decide to venture into the production side of the music industry?
Go ahead, Big Suge.
Well, Rico and myself, man, we've been grew up playing instruments. So we cut from that cloth of, if you're in a band, man, you got to be able to do it all. Play the instruments, write, and, get down. And it's like, we've always, been willing to work with anybody that wants to work with us. We're very open to, doing a lot of stuff. So it was a perfect fit when we got to No Limit, man, because like at the No Limit compound, man, it's like the studios, it's probably about 10, 12 studios in one building. And you got everybody in there, all the No Limit people, man. Snoop would be in there, Mystical, and whoever's in there. Monica might be in there. And, you can go from studio to studio, and, you might get lucky. You go in and they be like, hey, you want to get on something? Or you got something for us, man? We want to do something. So it's all about collabing, man. It's like, that's what the No Limit family was all about. And, just being true musicians, you can play instruments, it helps, man, because you can crank out stuff and then, just jump in and add to people's stuff. So it was really a blessing being able to, be a part of that.
Yeah.
And I remember as well, you guys actually did production work on Moby Dick's record as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that too. We did a few records with Mo, man, and then he did some on our album just as well. So what P was notorious was for, he realized when he did West Coast Bad Boys was a compilation. Then he figured in his head, oh, these compilations sell fast and they sell big. So he just adopted that same mindset. Everybody get on everybody album. It's really just a bunch of compilations that we sell it. It's your album, but okay, Snoop gonna be on my album, you gonna be, vice versa. So, and everybody was always working. Everybody was on everybody's record, and he just sold a bunch of compilations. If you really look at it, that's basically what it was. He sold a gang of mixtapes before they was called mixtapes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was raw for it.
Yep.
And also as well, the one thing, before we actually move on to you guys' reunion and how your son joined the group, the one thing I personally always wanted to know, and I don't know if this actually surrounds anything controversial, so if you guys do want to skip it, you can, you know what I mean? But in 1998, after your guys' success of your debut album in late 99, sorry, you guys would actually retire from the music industry after your big successful first record. The one thing I always wanted to know was what made you guys decide to kind of, venture off into other things? Because I got to say, you guys were at the hype of your careers.
Go ahead, Shug. You can talk about it.
Well, I put it like this, man. We didn't really retire.
Yeah.
It was we kept on going. We just, we were producing for a lot of people, man. But at the time, that was a time with No Limit, man. We were, you had TRU, you had Master P, Silk, Mystical, all these individuals successful, man. We sold a lot of records, but Master P was so big and the label was so big. I think what happened is everybody started getting into other things, man. They started playing basketball and sports management. They were doing movies. They had clothing, you name it. At one time, I don't know if you remember, Master P had a doll, a toy doll, and you pull the string or push his stomach, whatever it was, and it would go, So at that time, man, there was so much going on, man, and you had the rise of Cash Money. The label just kind of started to, man, communication between everybody was kind of lacking, man. So everybody just kind of started doing their own thing, man. We all still had love for each other, but it kind of dissipated, man. Sometimes when it gets too big, sometimes you gotta, keep that formula. When you keep it small, keep your little production assembly line small, and you can stay focused. But when it gets so big, sometimes it snowballs out of control,
And it's understandable as well because, like you said, No Limit was so big. You had so many huge superstars in one label. It was probably so hard to actually contain because obviously back then you couldn't just slide records out on the internet through DistroKid and whatnot. This was the old school days where you only saw a record maybe once every 2-3 years from your favorite artist. So it wasn't like you did a record and then 2 weeks later you're like, oh, I just did another EP. Let's roll it out. You had to wait a while and let other people in line actually really distribute their music. So it's understandable why you guys were you know what, damn, man, we're here. Sons of Funk is here too, man. You know what I mean? We want a record.
Right.
Yeah.
Indeed. And then you gotta keep in mind that most rap artists have a window of about 4 or 5 years. We pushed about 10 years in about 3 or 4 years, from 96 to 2001, 96, 97. Yeah, so we pushed about 10, 15 years in that small amount of time because we was putting out an album every Tuesday, and our rise was just beyond belief. You know what I mean? We ended up in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most records sold for at that time, with No Limit.
So
That's
when you
actually pretty
when
cool.
you go back and you look at our album, the singles we were on and all the stuff we helped produce, man, it was kind of like we had put out multiple albums,
Yeah,
but just on different artists' platforms. So that's how it was.
yeah.
But also, Richie, like going into the reunion, like what actually made you guys decide to start up Sons of Funk again? I believe you guys came back. I think I could be wrong, but I think it's 2014. You guys actually re-emerged within the music industry.
Yeah.
So, like, what actually made you guys decide to come back, and of course, like, obviously, bring Richie with you guys?
Oh, okay. So, yeah, man. Like you said, we had never really broke up. We were just, we were trying to find our way. The music game had started to change. It was streaming and all kind of, and they was like file sharing. So it was took the game to a whole nother. No money was there, and people was trying to figure out what the hell was going on. We were just trying to reinvent and figure out whatever else was going on. By this time, Richie and them, they getting big now. They figuring out like, yo, Pop, yeah, I want to do my thing. Okay, let me hear what you got. And then when they're young, the kids don't want to listen. I'm okay, just do your thing, whatever. And then one day he just is like, "Yo, I'm ready to do this with y'all." So talk about it, Rich.
Uh, um, I mean, because it was a process for us to even get it all popping. Because we was a mess at first. We was a mess. Like the whole everything. We was everywhere. We was doing pop music. We was doing all kind of stuff. It took us a while. I mean, but it was a lot of get bust that by Rico. A lot of hard work, man. Working in the studio all the time. I mean, it was a lot. Like it wasn't easy, I'll tell you that. But now it's like we on the road.
But I got to ask you, Richie. Like, obviously you're growing up with a legendary father. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? In the studio, like when was he coaching you and whatnot? Like, was he hard on you in the studio, or did he just let you do your thing in the booth?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I learned. He taught me a lot, like a lot, like I say, like when he was like, "Let me hear what you got." You know what I'm saying? When he first heard me, it was like, "Yeah, I was dope then," but like he taught me like how to structure my hooks. You know what I'm saying? Like how to put substance in the music to make it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of making music that don't mean nothing. Like like he taught me a lot. Like now I can go in the studio right now and I put something together. It sound like he wrote it.
Yeah, yeah. He didn't pickpocket my game real good. Yeah.
But I gotta ask
learned
Richie,
a
like,
lot.
were you in the music industry? Like obviously, like your dad, he was in the music industry. But were you an artist before you wanted to join Sons of Funk? Like, were you a solo artist at one point, or did you just kind of one day be like, you know what, Pops, like, you know what I mean? Give me the microphone. Let me try this.
Yeah, I was doing my own thing. Yeah, I was doing my own engineer, mix and master, shoot music videos. I was shooting my own music videos, edit music videos, everything on my own, like right there in my home, right here in my home, doing everything. And Rico was like, man, he needed a lead singer, so it was just that it was the best time. But I was at a point where, to be honest, I was really giving up. You know what I'm saying? Like Cause I got too much stuff going on. So it's just like, I don't even know if I want to do music, man. I just need to focus on, you know what I'm saying? Doing this, working, taking care of my family. It's a lot trying to chase hard. So, I was just like, Pops, and he was like, shit, come on. Give me a try and let's make this happen. And when it all started off, it was just I was bad. I wasn't listening.
Oh my God.
I didn't know if I wanted to do it or not, because Pops, a little older than me, I had some concerns and stuff, and we argued, but
oh my God. Hey, I want to add that and when he says that about his mixing, yeah, when he talks about his mixing and mastering, I like I said, I've been doing this, man, well over 30, 35. I don't even want to tell you. I mean, I'm gonna date myself. How long I've been doing it? He doesn't believe it, but he's truly one of the best mixing and mastering engineers that I've actually ever saw. And I've been around people at Motown. I've been around some of the people at Prince Camp. Surely enough, at No Limit, and some people at MCA, because we had signed a deal with MCA Gasoline Alley. And when I tell you, when I hear how he does some of the things he does, I'm like, how do you know to do that? There's some stuff that he does that I don't even know about. And I have a buddy who lives in Los Angeles. His name is Ontario. And he's been around the music industry just well. And he's produced some very stellar people. Matter of fact, he just did a record for Morris Day. And when he listens to our mixes, he go, man, brother, like your son is fucking dope, bro. Like, he the best I've ever heard. And it's like, he just has it naturally. And I don't know where that came from, but thank God it's here. You know what I mean? I ain't got to spend no money on no mixer, dude.
Hey, man, you know what? Like they always say, like father, like son, but hey, it stays all in the family. You know what I mean? You guys you just have your son mix and master it, and you all get to split the earnings, man. It works out perfectly.
Yeah.
Cutting the middleman right out of that one.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, you guys actually, because obviously when you guys came back, you guys did not even hesitate.
Yeah.
You guys went straight to work, man. And I know that you guys actually have a brand new single out that actually came out this year in 2021 titled Bullshit. And I got to say, I love cover, man. It's crispy and it's a phenomenal joint as well. But the listeners that haven't already heard this song, I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners a bit more about it, the inspiration, and of course, where can they cop themselves a copy of Bullshit today?
I think we breaking up. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you great. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? I think we breaking up.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you great.
Yeah. Can hear you good.
Okay. Yeah, Bullshit, man. It's just like a song we came up with. Basically, it's just like we tired of the ooh-wee. If you gonna come do business, let's do business. If you not, miss me with the bullshit, And we was tired, and then the video came together so dope, And the guy with the cape on, that's our good friend, and he's called the Sprint Hero, and that's Calvin. I can't hear you guys.
We're still here.
We're still here, dog. What did you say there, Richie? Sorry about that. I heard you say something productions.
I can't hear you guys. Somebody else can take over the convo. I can't hear at all.
Okay. I I don't know what Richie was about to say because I was like, I think they're breaking up, but
No, I was just
it's like
shouting out the camera guy.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Rich.
Oh, y'all can hear me now?
Yeah,
Rich,
we can hear you. Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Rich. Talk about the bullshit video and everything. Rich, can you hear? I don't think he can hear. Anyway, so it turned out really good, man.
Yeah.
Again, like I say, it was just one of them good videos and songs that saying, baby, yeah, we about this business now. Miss me with the bullshit, you know. So that's what we are.
But I got to ask you guys as well, man. Like, what is next for Sons of Funk? Because I know you guys are back full throttle. You guys are releasing hit after hit. What is next for you guys? Like, because 2021's still young.
Yeah, man. Look, we locking in on another deal, and we about to do a plethora of shows. I just talked to this guy who's hooked up to some of the most powerful booking agents in New York yesterday, and I said, look, I don't want to come home for the next 2 years. We about to be about it. You finna see us everywhere. We finna give you a show. Now, what we finna do now, these youngsters better watch out because we know how to give a show. Like, again, we cut from that Prince, Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know, we gonna give them a show. We gonna wow them. We gonna have the lights. We gonna have the smoke. We gonna have the fire. We gonna have the explosions. We gonna have the musicianship, and we gonna have the dancing, if you will. You know, we gonna get down, man. You gonna be like, yo. And so, if you young and you don't know how to get down, we gonna show you up on that stage, cause we still get down like Bobby Brown and James Brown. You know what I'm talking about, and anybody in between.
We come to get the crown.
So all these young cats, you know what I mean? All these young cats that are listening to this, whether it's live or pre-recorded, you best step up your game. You best be practicing and shit. You know what I mean?
Best to be practicing. I tell you what, if you want to fool with us, go see the Michael Jackson video when he was live in Bucharest. And that's how we finna come. So if you ain't coming like that, we finna kill you on that stage, baby. Oh, we finna give you, because you know an old dude that you can call him what you want, but one dude you can't go fool with in concert unless you got your shit together is that Charlie Wilson. Now he gets down. Charlie gets the show, baby. Oh yeah.
But like the old saying goes, they don't call you an OG for no reason, you know what I mean?
For no reason, baby.
That's what I mean. You know, there's the word OG for a reason. You know what I mean?
For a reason.
You best start practicing, man, because Sons of Funk is gonna moonwalk all over your asses.
Indeed. Thank you. Yes, indeed.
But also, Sons of Funk, man, I know you guys are busy, so I don't want to keep you guys too much longer, but this is the time in the interview there that I give a chance for the individuals that do slide into the radio station airwaves, or in this case tonight, our social media handles. I was wondering if you guys can give some shout outs and, of course, your guys' social media handles. That way our listeners can stay updated, everything Sons of Funk, if they're not already doing so.
Okay, mine is Rico, Sons of Funk, on Instagram, and I want to give a shout out to DJ Immortal. Thank you for having us. You are phenomenal. I see bigger things in your future, man. You do have that radio voice, so when you get on top of them big pop radio stations, I need you to have that Sons of Funk record in your head. You heard me?
Hey man, you already know. If you send it, my white ass is most definitely gonna spin it. You already know what to do. Sons of Funk always has a home on my airwaves.
Oh yeah, and you can find me at Lorenzo_Blaze at IG. And by the way, you know, we didn't say it, but you can get the record on all digital media platforms, Spotify. What's all of them there on the read? That's on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You know, you can find it. We also have a Sons of Funk webpage. So you can find it on all digital media aspects. And like again, we appreciate you, man, for this interview. And anytime you need to have us on, man, contact us. We're real easy to work with, man, and we also always support your station.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. It's all love. You know what I mean? Anytime you guys need anything as well, don't hesitate to hit me up, man. I got you guys as well. But Richie, if you can, man, drop them handles, brother.
Rich, you there?
Yeah, I can't hear. It broke up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Tell him your IG, your handles. I don't think he can hear.
Oh, all right. Richie Rich _ Sons of Funk.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you give them all a follow. You know what I mean? And also get that new record, because either you get it or you most definitely will regret it. You know what I mean? Get it while it's hot. But I got to say, guys, thank you so much again for just taking a little bit of your time this evening and coming on my platform. Like I said, I've been a fan of Sons of Funk, man, since I was a youngster, dude. So this has been a very surreal 41 minutes for me. So, guys, thank you so much for just coming on. Have yourselves a wonderful night, and I'm looking forward to some more Sons of Funk. I'm glad to see you guys are back and on fire, man. You know what I mean? Keep the momentum going, man.
Hallelujah.
Thank you very much. My pleasure, man.
You already
love to you, man.
Salute.
All right,
man.
God bless.
God bless, guys. Have yourself a wonderful night.
All right, you too.
You too.